Hey YouTube, this is Amber with Skyway Acquisition Solutions. We're a management consulting firm that helps federal contractors. Our team is a unique blend of former contracting officers and industry folks. We bring many years and a wide variety of experience, allowing us to provide the best support to help you succeed in federal contracting. This video series is the Skyway Spotlight. Each video you will learn more about our team members and what makes Skyway so special. Let's get started with today's episode. Okay, so today I have Shelley Hall with me and we're going to talk about the what and the why. And my first question is, why did you decide to go into this career in the government and being a contracting officer?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. I was already working for the government, and I had again grown up in contracting. I started working in contracting, first as like a clerk typist, and then a procurement clerk, where like you get to like handle contract files, and then a procurement technician, where you actually get to put together files and you help the buyers. And because I mean they didn't type their own stuff back then, we were like typing up their stuff for them. And so the government decided, which was awesome, that they were going to start paying for clerical personnel to get college degrees.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, wow. And my boss told me, I still think the day that he was so forward thinking, but he said, he says, eventually there's not going to be any clerical people in contracting. He said it's all going to be the contract negotiators, the contracting officers, the contract administrators. And he said, so you need to get your education, and you need to, so I'm like, okay. So I went to the education office and I said, what? I said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And like I said, again, I was already in my 30s at this point in time. So I was pretty self-actualized. I said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but what degree will you pay the most in? And they said management classes. And I said, well, that is what I'm going to take then, is management classes, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm all about, let's government pay for it. And it turned out that if you were in management, it was a very natural transition then to get into a training program in contracting, and then just continue the rest of the way up and eventually get your warrant. So it was just something I kind of fell into, but I loved it the first day I started it, and I still love it today. So I guess it was the right decision.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think you truly understood the process because you started and worked your way all the way up. So,
Yes, yes.
really foundational understanding. So, since you love it, that's super great. But what do you think is the most important role that the contracting officer plays?
Well, I've always said, and I came in at an interesting time in the government where things were changing. You had the old curmudgeon COs that said, every government contractors, they're all crooks, they're all trying to screw you, whatever. And then you had the people that were kind of the think outside the box people. So you had kind of the two thought processes. And so I was just kind of like, and again, because I was older and I felt pretty confident in who I was and what I could do, I just said, I'm gonna figure out what I think you should do. And to me, any contracting officer, what you do is you keep everybody on a level playing field. You never give
Hmm.
anybody an advantage. You never give anybody the appearance of an advantage. You never, give them misinformation that is going to harm them. And sometimes it's not conscious uh, bad
Okay.
information. It's just that's what the program officer, somebody else has told you, and then you put it out there, and then you have contractors doing things or trying to get things together or whatever that are not really what they need to do. And so I was always very much about, if they gave me something and they said put it out there, but I wanted to research it and know that it was going to be beneficial to the contractors versus being something bad for them. And so, and I loved that. I loved the contractors. And that was the thing, like I said, I never understood this. Oh, they're all the crooks. Because to me, it was like, it takes a village, to award a contract. It really does. There's a lot of people in the process. And so you've got to, those people all have to be a team, and you all have to be working together, and, never, ever, well, I don't like this contract. Well, that's too bad, unless they've done something wrong. Unless they've done something wrong that you can prove that they can be debarred and not get a government contract, then you have to give them a chance. And sometimes really that's all they need is to prove themselves. So yeah, level playing field. That I think is a CO's job.
I think that's important and super valuable too, because you are in control in this position. You could manipulate or abuse your power. So level playing field. And then, competition is competition, but you're just like the ref on the sidelines, keeping everybody together. Cool.
Exactly.
So my final question is, what did you like most about it? We know you're lucky and you loved it, but could you pick the one thing that you loved most about it?
Well, I really loved working with small businesses, and that encompasses a lot. Because you have your 8A contractors, which are small disadvantaged businesses that are in a special program, and then you have your service disabled veteran-owned small businesses, which of course is somebody who has served their country, and then they were wounded in some way and are disabled in some way, or you have the economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, which is obviously a female business, and then the hub zone, which is a geographical decision. But in all of those cases, I just loved helping them, because it's so hard to navigate government contracting. And when you're a small business and you've got this socioeconomic category advantage, so to speak, that the COs need to help those people. And, a lot of COs were like, I'm just not going to take the time. But, I would want to talk to them and say, here, call this person, that's your regional small business representative, call this person, to get them there. And some of them, I got the chance to see them flourish, over the years, until they graduated from a program, or, because it has a monetary ceiling, they made enough money in contracts that they got out of it. And it was like watching a child grow. It was so fascinating. And then still knowing them as contractors, and they're, coming back and saying, thank you so much for that initial chance and that help that you gave us. So that was what I loved the best.
I can hear the dispassion and how genuine it is in your voice. And I think the small businesses that were able to work with you are just super fortunate. So
thank you.
Well, thanks for being you. And that wraps it up for today. So we'll catch you next time, Shelley. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Amber. Bye.